You want the gavel? Huh?
Yeah.
You want to ring it up? I'd like to call to order Powhatan County Board of Supervisors emergency meeting on May the 17th, 2023. Mr. Cox, if you'd help us with the Pledge of Allegiance, Ms. Carmack, if you do the invocation, I'd be grateful.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear Lord, please guide us today as we seek to do the people's business. Amen.
Thank you. Are there any requests to postpone agenda items, additions, deletions, or changes in the order of presentation? Not hearing any, can I have a motion for formal approval?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. This is our first public comment period. The floor is open. If you'd like to speak to the board as an individual, you have 3 minutes. If you'd like to speak on behalf of a group, you have up to 5 minutes. Not seeing anyone come to the board. Is there anyone online to speak? Public comments period is closed. New business, Mr. Chardon.
Yeah, so we have emergency ordinance 0-2023-06. This is extension of tax due date from June 5th to June 20th. Due to the continued implementation of the Keystone software that we're using for our billing. Weren't able to get the bills out in time due to issues with that. And I'll just say that staff worked really hard. There were a lot of emails going back and forth, 3 a.m., 4 a.m. on Saturdays and Sundays over weekends, literally working 24 hours a day trying to get these done. But in rooting out errors, we wanted to make sure the treasurer and commissioner of revenue and myself wanted to make sure that when we did put them out, they were as accurate as they could be. And fortunately, they did find the errors rather than putting them out in the public, finding errors in them. But that meant that it was pushed out more. So, I know it's frustrating for the public, for you all, it has been for us, and we've expressed that to the software vendor. So we're going to be digging in with them, looking back at this to see exactly why there were issues, in year 2 of this implementation. Certainly we can't continue this. So we'll be working with them to try and find a solution so that we don't have this in the future. But that's what we have here tonight. And since we're passing this as an emergency, we will have to ratify this at the June regular meeting. So like a regular ordinance, we will put out notice of that, and there'll be a second public hearing for it at that time.
Do you have a motion?
Mr. Chair, I move we approve ordinance 0-2023-06.
Second. Any questions, comments?
I have a comment.
Yes, sir, Mr. Williams.
Staff has been working, in my opinion, on overtime for 18 months. We go back, November 1, 2021 was supposed to be the completion date for the new enterprise system. Last year, we were here before you with the same issue. Same exact issue. Going into year end last year, I had said in a workshop, if the bills don't go out, it's not the treasurer's fault. It's not the commissioner of revenue. It's our fault. Because we haven't held accountable a software vendor who is responsible for implementing the system. Sure enough, the bills didn't go out. And a year later, we're back with the same exact situation. So again, I want to emphasize, it's not the treasurer, it's not the commissioner of revenue, it's us. Because we haven't gotten the job done for you, the people we serve. To the extent you measure the functioning of a county, the ability to levy a tax rate, to send out bills, and collect the revenue is emblematic of whether or not you're functioning as a county. I'll let you make that decision. But I'm going to be asking the county administrator who inherited this mess to come forward, put this on the agenda. I'm not going to take up time tonight. But this is going to be discussed and there's going to be closure and there's going to be a plan in place and people are going to be held accountable, not the least of which us up here on stage. I can't tell you another locality who's experienced this. Can't. But again, all that said, I'm going to be asking our new county administrator to come forward with a plan to be discussed. I don't care if it's a special workshop, whatever it takes. I want a plan in place that gives us closure. Whatever that looks like, whatever we decide is closure. But I don't intend to be here 6 months from now, a year from now, with the same issue before us. It's unexcusable. Those are my comments, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Williams. Any other comments? I'm going to agree with what Mr. Williams said. I'm going to take it a little bit farther. When it's our responsibility, and I agree with him, it does fall on us. When you bring that proposal or resolution or the solution to the problems, I hope that one of the people on this board up here who seems to be really actively involved in it one way or another makes a motion. Because you can't make a motion, Mr. County Administrator, but we can. That's my comments. Do we need to do a roll call vote on this?
Yes, since it's ordinance, we do.
Okay, good.
Mr. Williams,
All right.
Mr. McClung,
Aye.
Mr. Cox,
Aye.
Mrs. Carmack,
Aye.
Mr. Byerly.
Aye. That motion passes. We'll ratify that. Did you say in the June meeting, Mr.
Correct.
Shawdown?
Yep.
Okay. And that will now open up the second public comment period. Floor is open. Not seeing anyone. Do we have anyone online?
Nope.
Public comments period's closed. Board comments? Not hearing